To cut straight to the chase, the games I'm most excited about are Cyberpunk 2077, Metroid Prime 4, and F-Zero GX, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Anyways, well, there's many games that were shown that I want to play, but these are the 4 games that interest me the most. Now, as for Cyberpunk 2077, well, I love Cyberpunk. As you can see, I have Blade Runner collectibles here, and I love the developer CD Projekt Red. They developed one of my favorite games of all time, which is Witcher 3. The reason I didn't get Cyberpunk 2077 near launch is because of the state it was in at launch, and it got lots of bad reviews, and I held off getting it. And I've heard it's like a completely new game now. And like I said, the developer does know how to make great games, and I really want to play it now. But I heard it was going to come to the Switch too, so I held off, and it's being on Switch 2 means I can play it on a portable. I like owning games physically as well, so that's why Steam Deck isn't an option for me. As for Metroid Prime 4, well, I love the atmospheres in those games. They remind me a lot of the Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver. You're up against hostile alien creatures and in environments that make you feel very vulnerable. The psychic abilities and the mouse function make me really want to try it on the Switch 2. And as for F-Zero GX, I believe that game was developed by both Sega and Nintendo together. See, I'm not a huge fan of racing games, even futuristic ones like the Wipeout games on the PlayStation didn't really impress me that much. But when I played F-Zero GX, I was blown away. Just the track designs and the way it flows and the aesthetic. It's one of my favorite racing games ever, so I'm glad it's coming to Switch Online. Yes, I know I can play it on an emulator, but playing Switch Online will make it easier for the multiplayer aspect. Now, as for Donkey Kong Bonanza, well, many people said they wanted a 3D Mario game, and are complaining that one hasn't been announced, but we're getting a 3D Donkey Kong platformer, which is the next big thing. And the Donkey Kong games have their own fun gameplay mechanics. So it's going to be a 3D platformer, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, as for Windwaker being announced only for Nintendo Switch Online, and us not getting the HD version that was released for the Wii U, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed, as Wind Waker is one of my favorite action games ever. It's actually still my favorite Zelda game to date. See, I still have my GameCube copy of Wind Waker. I bought it pre-owned many years ago, because I never owned a GameCube, but after I bought a Nintendo Wii, which was BC with GameCube, I bought Wind Waker pre-owned, and it's still my favorite Zelda game. Now I could sit here and complain why Nintendo should have given us the HD version, because the HD version gets rid of the tedious Triforce quest and has many other improvements. But the fact is, it hasn't been announced. So why is that? And there's many theories. In my opinion, I think the HD version of Wind Waker, as well as a HD version of Twilight Princess, might be released later on, because Nintendo knows they will sell, but at first they want to make easy money, just putting the GameCube version on the Nintendo Switch Online, so Nintendo doesn't have to do as much work trying to port the Wii U version, which has its own new features to the Switch 2. And like I said, it's just a way they can get people to subscribe to the GameCube expansion for Switch 2, because there's only 3 games that will be available, 3 GameCube games that will be on the available to play on the Nintendo Online, and one of them just happens to be Wind Waker, and another one of them is F-Zero GX, which I'm happy about. But okay, Nintendo have announced that they're going to give enhanced versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with better frame rates and that. And those games are still fresh on people's minds, and you don't want to announce or release another Zelda game that's too close to the releases of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I think Nintendo will wait a bit. Nintendo made the mistake during the Wii U's life cycle. They released too many of the Wii U's best exclusives too close to each other. Don't forget, Super Mario 64 was part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars compilation. It was 3 games: Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. The 3 of them were released, and my point is, if I remember correctly, it happened before Mario 64 came to Switch Online, but the point is, both versions did come to Switch Online. Yes, I know Mario 3D All-Stars was a limited release, and Nintendo pulled it off the digital store, but nonetheless, both of them did at some point come to Nintendo Switch. So I wouldn't be surprised if the HD version of Wind Waker comes later on, maybe on some sort of anniversary edition, or like HD version package with Twilight Princess included, because they released Twilight Princess as an individual game with HD and charge a big price. Maybe some people will complain, but if they release the HD version of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess together later on, people are going to buy it for sure. I could be wrong, but just don't give up hope yet. Don't forget, Nintendo released the remake of Link's Awakening first, and then they released the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening later. So with Nintendo, anything is possible. As we know, there's been a remake of Paper Mario 1000 Year Door that's already been released on Switch, so that's why Paper Mario 1000 Year Door hasn't been announced for Switch online yet, but I think it'll come later. And just like I honestly do think that Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess in one package will be released later for Switch 2. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I could be wrong, but it's what I think. Again, with Nintendo, they do market things a certain way, but do you honestly think they're going to wait until the next Nintendo console to give us the HD version of Wind Waker? And like I said, they know the game is going to sell, but they're just trying to market it in a certain way so they can monetize it as much as possible. I'll wrap it up here. I don't do many videos about gaming. I just thought I'd give some of my opinions. Okay, take care, bye.